you guys? It's your girl Keldamuzik here on Ladies Night, brought to you by Cut It Up Music, my boy Mace the Tableist. I have a very beautiful special guest here. She's a singer-songwriter. Everyone, please welcome Miss Lia Sabella.
Thank you.
Yes, I like saying your name. It's so exotic and it flows right off the tongue. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, how are you, sis?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. And how are you?
I'm wonderful. But I'm better now that you came. When I saw you walk through the door, I'm like, oh my God, there she is. Like, okay.
I am just so happy to be here, and I'm just so thankful that you guys brought me on as a guest. And I'm loving the vibes from the minute I walked in. So
yeah, we only bring on the best.
Oh. Well, thank you. I feel very special then.
Yes, yes. So tell me, what kind of music is it that you do? I know we discussed, we were like neo soul, R&B. What kind of music?
You know, there's so many genres now, but I like to say R&B, but I think it's soul, R&B, neo soul. It falls under those categories. Yeah.
Do you think it's kind of all the same in some kind of way, or?
I do. I don't really like labels for things, right?
Yeah.
Because art is creativity.
That's right.
And so why should we put like rules and boundaries, you know? I actually really love like Erykah Badu's vibe, just because I remember her once saying something like, I don't even do genres, but because I like that, because it gives artists the like freedom to just do as they feel creativity wise. And I feel like people should accept the artistry, right? But I do think that R&B is kind of more the direction that I've gone, just based on like the music that I've grown up with and things I've listened to, things that have influenced me. I feel like that is the direction, like as far as writing goes and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So like a lot of love songs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, tell me, who did you grow up listening to?
So there's so many good artists, right? Like we could be here all night talking.
No, of course.
But to drop a few names, I love Toni Braxton.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Okay.
Of course, Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Of course, Mariah Carey. Of course, I like Roberta Flack, if we want to go a little bit more back.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's
if we want Gladys Knight, you know.
Okay, yeah.
So there's so many names that we could be here all day, but Aaliyah, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill. Again, we'll be here all night. Just to drop a few names, those are people that I would constantly listen to and look up to, and just feel like, yes, if I were to have a sound for myself as an artist, it would be something along those lines.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, if you don't mind me asking, where are you from?
So I originally grew up in Antioch.
Okay.
Yes, and then I've lived in San Francisco, Oakland. I've lived all around the Bay.
All around the Bay, okay.
Yeah, so I've primarily been in the Bay.
Gotcha. Okay, so you've always been listening to like KMEL.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
949, KBLX.
My whole life.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, there was a period of time where I moved overseas for a bit, and that was kind of cool.
Where?
So my family's from Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went there for a little bit, and that was a really cool experience. But I feel like that is a part of my music that I would like to start implementing too, is just different type of instruments and sounds.
Yes.
So I feel like even like Timberland, he does that a lot.
Yes, he does. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's so many things that you hear and I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds like an Arabic song, but it's
like
not.
When he was working with Nelly Furtado.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
so I feel like there's a market for that, to tap into.
Yeah.
But but I've been in the Bay my whole life, so I definitely have that kind of Bay sound also, I would say.
Okay. So I was asking because like in the Bay Area, like were you listening to any other Bay Area artists growing up? Like Wapale?
Oh, Wapale. Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
She's a big influence.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Because I mean her sound, that's one artist too that I feel like Keisha Cole too. So many artists from here that were what's the word I'm looking for? Like underrated? Yeah, because to me, I feel like she's one of the best too of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the songs and the songwriting can really relate to a lot of people.
Yes.
And that's what people really love. It's like, I mean, that's dope, you know, if you can sing a song that people can really vibe with. And for years, I like timeless music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel like all of those artists, including her, they have timeless music. You can
like
play
real music.
Yeah, like 20, 30 years, like you're still going to be slapping it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And just like now we have Kehlani.
Oh my.
They make timeless music. You know what I mean? Like we hope to collab with them one day too.
That
you know
would be
what I'm saying?
amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just out of this world too, because I feel like there's so much talent from the Bay. And I think that's one good thing that we have done is keeping it together. You see a lot of artists from the Bay collaborate with each other, as well as other artists. But I feel like the Bay does get a really good recognition for the artistry that they put out. Yeah.
Do you think just in the R&B genre only, or do you think like for hip hop?
Oh no, I think for hip hop. I think for there's so many artists. I mean, just look at the verses that they just did.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The Too Short E41. Right.
I
mean, the whole world was going crazy.
Heck
you know.
Yes. We was going dumb, stupid.
Exactly. Like there's something you can't take away from that, and I feel like around the world they see and appreciate the vibes that come out of the Bay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely.
It's always love.
Yeah. And I mean, come on, like back in the day, we had In Vogue, right, from Oakland, and then weren't the Pointer Sisters from the Bay too, or Oakland?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's real talent.
That's crazy.
Think about that. That's insane.
Yeah.
And the list goes on. Like there's just so many. Again, we'll be.
Yeah.
But I definitely listen to Bay music.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's cool to network with other people so you can hear what they have to offer because there is a platform for people on a higher level, like more on a mainstream level. But I feel like there's so many like underground artists out here that like I like to play too, you know. So
have you collaborated with any local artists?
Yeah. So I've done songs with Young Gully.
Okay.
I've done songs. I don't know if you're familiar with. There's a gentleman named J1, Shiro.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, they're all really dope artists.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Suspect.
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool artists from the Bay. So I feel like we got to network so we can hear more about them because people would be slapping their music, you know?
That's right. No, I'm telling you, that's real. Yeah.
Yeah.
What artists do you want to collaborate with, mainstream or independent?
Ooh, that's a good question. There is an artist from LA. His name is Quincy White.
Okay.
I would really like to collab with him one day.
Okay.
I think that he has a lot of skill with the pen, and the vibe is very soulful also, even though he comes from like a rap thing. I'd love to collab with you.
Oh, yes, of course. That would be awesome.
Yes, so we should make that happen.
Yeah, no, we will. Like you said, it's just about bringing us all together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the Bay Area is like a Super Bowl, you know what I mean?
It is.
Like, everybody does something.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just about networking, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah. As a female singer, have you faced any challenges, you know, being in the industry, like dealing with males and...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would feel like back in the day, I wasn't sure, you know, how the game kind of went. I don't want to call it a game, but some people kind of, you know, play it like that.
Yeah.
But when you really meet real producers and artists and people that you work with, you know that it's no longer a game. But I will say that there are some struggles because you're not taking 100% seriously. The way that I feel like a man is for his artistry.
Right.
Like people want to tell you how to be, who to be, what to look like, what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How to dress less.
Exactly. They always want you to dress less or you know, if I want to, that's what I want to do. But if I don't, like, I don't feel like I need to be a certain way. Which going back to like artists like her and stuff like that, like she got her shades on.
Yep.
She's doing her thing. Like,
always covered up.
Always covered up. I mean, it is what it is. Like you could be covered up or not covered up. That is, you know, I don't judge. I'm not, you know, I like either way. But at the same time, I feel like as an artist, you should be able to be who you are.
That's right.
You know, so I feel like that is really important. So I feel like it is hard when you're working sometimes with different people with different mindsets. It's harder for women to try to reach certain points and be taken as seriously.
Yeah. No, that is so true. Like I've even been in a few of those situations where it's like, oh, you know, I got you an audition with Columbia, this and that, and it's like, all right, cool, but so what are you doing later on?
Right, it's always a but. Can it just stop there? Like, we could make money, you know, we could get something out of it. It's not for nothing, but it's like, no, we don't need to sell ourselves, you know, just to gain certain things. Right?
Yeah. No, totally. I totally agree with that.
So you've also had experience.
Yes. And a few experiences that, you know, situations that I blew, like they were really good opportunities, but I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that.
I feel you. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and there are opportunities, that's why I call it a game in a sense, because sometimes there are like great things, but if you're true to who you yourself is, then you don't need to do that, because your artistry will speak for itself.
Yeah. No, that's true. So I take it you're like a really deep writer. Like you lock yourself in the studio and you're just like,
I love to write. Yeah. I love to write. I started writing poetry.
I was about to ask you, were you writing poetry?
I didn't even know I could write music. I mean, I was always dancing, and I dabbled in some singing. I was in some choirs and stuff, but I didn't really know the writing portion of it until I started really taking some of the poems that I had and just like creating these melodies to them.
Yeah.
And then, you make a song.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's how you do it? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, of course, it's more than that, but at the same time, the basic foundation is, if you have something deep within you, just put it out there. And once you do, you might create something really dope to share with people,
Yeah, no, totally. And that's how artists start, it's all about putting the pen to the pad and just coming up with ideas, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. What was the first album that you bought?
Oh, that is too hard. Like on a cassette, on a record, on a
CD, a cassette. Even when you were like 7 years old, I can remember my first album. It was Al Green and Savage Garden.
Oh, wow.
So like pop alternative, and then like
crazy.
Soul. Yeah.
I like that though.
It was through like a free CD service. Like they were offering like free CDs to test out their little, their business. And so they gave me a choice, and I was like, well, I remember Savage Garden. I like them, and then my dad listens to Al Green, so okay.
You're like, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yes.
That's cool. Well, I'm trying to think if I go back in my mind, if I was to recall a record, because we did have a record player. We had this like big old like looking thing, right? We had a Stevie Wonder. I remember I got this Stevie Wonder record. Isn't she love? And then I remember I would just let that thing play. So that was a record favorite. And then I remember getting a cassette. My family was a little bit tardy on the electronics.
Yeah.
So while everybody else was rocking their stuff, I was like, oh, look what I got,
Yeah.
Which I don't blame them for. We did other things to entertain ourselves. But I believe I got the cassette Aaliyah. I can't remember which exactly cassette it was, but it was definitely an Aaliyah cassette. And I remember, and in the inside they used to put the lyrics. I was trying to learn the lyrics to the songs.
And,
replaying it, and you got to stop, rewind.
Yeah.
Because they don't got to deal with that nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And then CD, I don't know. But I remember it was an array of different stuff.
Yeah.
Always kind of R&B.
Always R&B, yes, I asked. Yes. Are you a huge Boyz II Men fan?
Love Boyz II Men.
Yeah.
That was my first concert I went to.
I was going to ask you, what was your first concert?
That was my first concert. It was a combination.
Yeah.
It was Destiny's Child.
Ooh, when they first started popping.
Mace. Boyz II Men.
Hey, Mace.
Boyz II Men. And there was one more group that were, no, not 112. I'm trying to think off the top.
Jagged Edge?
Not Jagged Edge. Ooh, why can't
Drew Hill?
No, but you're saying all really good people right now. Well, anywho's, it was a really good concert. I will never forget this in my life. And I remember we ran up to the front with some roses, and we were trying to give them off to the people, because I was just so juiced to be at a concert for the first time. Yes, so it was a good concert, but I love Boyz II Men. Ooh.
Yeah. They're like the true definition of R&B.
Oh yeah.
90s R&B, whatever.
My favorite Christmas album.
Boyz II Men. I never listened to their Christmas album.
What?
I need to.
Yes, you do.
It's pretty good, huh?
It's really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's timeless music right there.
Timeless. Again, I like all timeless music.
What about Mariah Carey's Christmas music? Do you always listen to that? She's making bank off that every year, that one Christmas album.
She is. I'm not going to lie, that one song that, everybody loves. Yeah, that's a go-to, right?
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan. I like more of her other songs rather than the Christmas ones. But if it's Christmas time, you can't go wrong with Mariah.
Right.
I mean,
I'm gonna listen to this.
It's gonna bring you joy, right?
Yeah. Just like Michael Jackson does, they play the Thriller album every Halloween. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll play that at the club.
Yeah,
and people are like, you know what I
Thriller.
mean? I'm just saying, like, you know. So it's a timeless music.
Yes, timeless music. Yes. No, definitely. So, do you listen to any hip hop at all? Are you a fan of any today's hip hop artists?
Love hip hop. Oh, like we'll be here all day too. But
who's in your playlist right now?
So I mean, I like mainstream artists.
Yeah.
I know some people are gonna hate on me for saying this, but I like Drake.
Drake.
You know.
Shit.
Yeah, but I also like some less, I guess you can say, more underground.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really sad because I feel like a lot of people that I like to listen to have passed away, which makes me sad. But
yes,
at the same time, they do have the timeless music, right?
Right.
So like Extentation.
Yeah.
I love that. I am like constantly slapping that still. So
Juice WRLD.
See?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like it's sad to
Pop
mention.
Smoke. Like
that was what I was just listening to. So
I like
you know what
voice.
I mean?
Yeah. Damn, that really sucks. Wow.
I know.
Oh my god.
It's hard to bring up, but
it is.
Like Tupac, Biggie. I mean,
right.
I like new artists, but also I just feel like we have to pay tribute to the music that is never gonna end. You know.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah. So let me ask you this: when it comes to making R&B music and writing, what is your writing process like? Are you the kind that just freestyles everything, or like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it depends.
Like you write at home and then you go to the studio and record it, or are you in the studio just writing?
I prefer to write at home so I don't waste time.
Yeah.
Because time is money.
Yep.
And as you know, when you're working with other people and it's their time is money too, you want to be mindful. So I like to spend as much time as I can at home writing and in my own zone. Because I feel like if you feel pressure, you might not. I mean, pressure is sometimes good in certain moments, but sometimes when you really want to zone into the writing, you need to take the space and the time for yourself. So I like to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends on the beat though, because sometimes, like, let's say somebody will present you with the beat first, and then you have the time to write to it.
Yes.
Or sometimes I create like certain melodies or write something that I just comes to me, and then I'll find a beat later that would work with it, or someone will create one for me. You know. Yeah. So I feel like there's certain people probably stick to a more thing, but I like to go with the vibe.
Yeah. No, totally.
So whatever the song is presenting to me, I feel like that's what you should do because it's probably going to be the best benefit for the whole thing in the end, right?
Yeah.
How about you? Do you usually write?
Yeah, I write at home and I'm all prepared, rehearsing everything. Then I go in the studio and knock it out.
Right?
So I'm like, look, studio time is about $50. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
And I'm gonna knock this out in 30 minutes. So.
Yeah. No, honestly, and it's crazy because early on I realized that was something that people were going to be more willing to work with you.
Yeah.
If you could do that.
Yes.
Because it would be less money for them, but also you'd be making more money. You know.
That's right.
So, I don't know. I feel like that's a good quality to have as an artist, or something a good advice.
Yeah, and it's professional too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people do take you a lot more seriously. They're like, oh, whoa, you already knocked that out. Like that was really fast, right?
Yeah. So, you got your shit together. Like you've been. Yeah.
You will be a little more respected. I feel like for your artistry when you're ready, prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But sometimes it's cool to freestyle and jam. I call it jamming.
Yeah,
like
jam sessions,
you gotta jam. You gotta sometimes get together with some people, vibe off their energies. I mean, if you're collaborating, of course, but even if you're not, like even with my producer, whoever I'm working with, because all together, I feel like it's gonna make the sound better.
That's
if
right.
Everything is syncing, right?
Yes. It's like rehearsing for a show. With your dancers, I'm sure
exactly.
Hours in the studio, getting it right, and then boom, when it's time for the performance, it's smooth. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Flawless. So
yeah,
that's cool. Okay. What producers do you want to work with? Like, who are you a fan of producer-wise?
Ooh, there is so many good producers out there. Like that's a really hard question.
And you can even name like the ones back from the '90s, the early 2000s, like.
to be 100%, I already dropped his name, but that's how much I love him. But I've always wanted to work with Timbaland.
Yes, Timbaland.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's definitely somebody that I've had in my eyesight. I'm like, yep, that's somebody I would like to work with, just because I feel like he gets it as far as the diversity of creativity, and he's able to stay very relevant. Yes, but also have, keep saying it, but that timeless kind of sound.
Yeah. No, totally. So I take it like you're a fan of, like, you know, Missy.
Oh,
love Missy.
Yeah.
And then obviously Aaliyah, you know.
Yeah.
Put her brand together. You know what I mean?
It's classic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I feel like, not saying that music kind of lost classic sometimes, because nothing is lost when we're still creating. It's beauty, you know? But I feel like there is something special about that. There's something rare, and it's noticeable. So I just feel like, yeah, we can still have elements of that. And I feel like her and different artists like that, they tap into that market.
Yes.
Even though on a mainstream level too.
Yeah.
Right?
They sure do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, totally. Well, what producers are you working with right now?
So right now, I'm working with First Class Passengers.
Okay. All right.
So Johnny Red, Jimmy Black.
All right. Shout out to them.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm also working with Joy Riser.
Okay. Shout out to Joy Riser.
Yeah, Joy Riser. He's very dope.
Yeah.
And I look forward to working with some new producers this year. I'm in contact with a few different people. So hopefully we got some new things coming for you.
Yes. We got to hear it. Yes. And do you do any like virtual performances or anything like that, or have you gotten into that yet?
Yeah, I just started getting into that. I want to do some more of those types of things.
Yeah.
I was a little bit weary, I'm not gonna lie, of the whole virtual thing, just because, you know, the energy. I love live music.
Yeah.
I would be going to multiple different shows, whether they be local shows or, you know, more mainstream shows. But that's part of my life. Like, I like live music.
Yeah.
So I was like, are we gonna get the same thing? But the response is really beautiful, because people are having a tough time at home.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a rough year, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why not bring like some happiness to somebody's screen? Like, why not? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you know what? I like that energy. So I'm like, this year, I'm gonna do that more. If we can't get out together, let's bring it to people, right?
That's right.
So there's one they call it virtual art party, but free to the people. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yes, definitely check that one out. They have it once a month, and I hear that. Are you guys doing something cool like that too?
Well, we do the ladies' night event.
And
so right now it's on a pause, but we usually do it once a month, and we'll just have like several female artists come and perform.
That's so cool.
And they bring their fan base. We got a bar set up and everything. And,
that's amazing.
You know, everyone's just showcasing their talent. We even do ciphers. You know what I mean? So we charge you at the door, of course. You know what I mean? To try to give you some gas money.
There you
know
go.
What I mean? But if we can't, at least you had a good time. You got to showcase your art to your fans.
Yeah, that's
so. Yeah, definitely. When we get that going again, it could be in spring.
Right, soon.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll definitely.
Well, I'm there. Let me know.
Yeah.
Please.
We're there on stage, like.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, as R&B singer, like, when it comes to fashion, how do you see yourself styled? Like, are you a diva like myself? No, I'm just kidding.
You know.
Or are you more like, you know, just, I'm not trying to show too much skin or whatever. It's about the music. Leave my face alone. Leave my body alone.
Right. Like, it's a combination, because that's kind of who I am. Like, on a normal day, I like to wear, you know, my Jordans or my Chucks or my, like, I like to wear something sporty, kind of sporty chic, if you will.
Yeah.
That's my normal look.
Okay,
but I like to dress up.
Yeah.
So if we have somewhere to go, best believe that diva's gonna come out. I'm gonna bring out what I got, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like it's the vibe. And I feel like there's a place and time. Well, not really, because whatever the heck I'm feeling like, I'm gonna do. So
yeah,
I mean, sometimes you dress a little too much, sometimes you underdress, right?
Right.
I feel like confidence is key.
Yeah.
So I feel like wear what makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And if it makes you shine, you know what makes you shine. You know, if you're feeling yourself, that's probably what you should walk out in, is what I'm thinking, right?
Right. So, like, regardless whether sex sells, you're just kind of like, I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, if I feel like extra sexy that day and I want to put on my little something, I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I feel like we should be who we are. It's when we try to be who we're not that I don't think people relate to. So I just feel like people can relate to wanting to be comfortable but look cute. So the whole like sporty chic thing could work, you know. But also, I feel like a lot of people appreciate like, you know what, I want to look extra, you know, fancy today. Why not? Right?
Show some skin. I want to
something, right?
Cleavage or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You do have that.
Well, thank you. You know, if you got it, you want it, right?
You got it, you want it. You know. So yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like everything should be who you are. Yeah. Because if you're not comfortable with that, I don't feel like you should do that because your confidence and your energy will shine, and so you will dim yourself if you try to be, you know, have you ever seen somebody like wear something and they're like, even though they look so good, they look so good, but they're like,
I had a
you know,
I had a friend, she's my ex-best friend, that's what I like to call her.
Aww.
But she normally doesn't dress nice, but when she dresses up, she looks really good, but she doesn't know how to take pictures, like she looks uncomfortable, and it's like, whoa, you can see like there's no confidence
on your face.
Yeah. And that actually makes everything else not attractive.
Right, and you could be looking just beautiful. It's a weird way to describe, but I feel like that's where that inner, you know, beauty kind of shines because we feel it, right? And if you don't feel it, you're gonna look like you don't feel it, right? So, I definitely would say it's important with fashion for anybody, even if you're keeping it cash or doing it up. Just be confident with what you chose to put on that day, right?
Yeah.
And artistry, I feel like they do want you to look a certain way or dress a certain way. Like for me, I find it hard. Like I have all kinds of, I don't know if you feel this, but I wouldn't say that I fit in one category. Like maybe something I wear is a little more like retro, something's a little more vintage, you know?
Yeah.
But why do I have to only stick to one thing?
Yes.
I never get that. But they want you to do that. Yeah. So it's a little bit hard. You can kind of hone into your brand, if you will. But it is hard to like always portray a certain thing when you like so many things. Yes, yeah. Do you find that too?
Yeah, no, that's so true because like, you know, you want to be, you know, versatile. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I want to walk, like you said, with some sneakers and, you know, maybe, you know, some cute tight jeans and like maybe a baggy shirt. But, you know, they're telling you, no, we need you to look like this at all times.
Exactly.
And that means you have to keep up with yourself looking like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that could be hard sometimes. That's why like people appreciate artists like Lizzo, who just comes out and is like, man, I'm gonna let it all hang out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And I honestly, I love that because she is her. I mean, that's who she is. So it's like you can appreciate it. And I feel like it's relatable. I feel like going to like Cardi B or like certain artists like that too. I feel like just not necessarily relatable, but in the sense of like someone just being who they are. Yeah, like
Cardi B could be that because she, you know, used to dance, so she could dress that way and be her.
So like, but you could appreciate it just in the sense of like, okay, well, at least she's being real.
Exactly.
I have a song called Something Real, and I believe there is something about that though, like just being real, keeping it real, like people, whether it's in a relationship or a person off the street, just like people like that, you know. It's respected, so.
So you have a real circle. All your friends, everybody, do they all support you, like family, friends?
Oh, like, I'm so blessed.
Yeah, I feel so
grateful. Like, I am beyond grateful of how supportive everybody has been during this whole journey and everything. Yeah, just because they really go out their way to make you feel like, for example, my brothers, they got me a platinum like record of mine, all put up that you could put up and everything. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like, did somebody give me the platinum album? Did I sell platinum album? No, but the way they make you feel is really important, you know? And so that makes it easier to be the artist that you want to be when you know that people are behind you. Like my parents always supported me, my friends, my family.
So let me ask you, like, how did you get started?
With singing?
Yes.
So it kind of goes back to like high school. So I was in like multiple choirs, and my dad had a friend who had a recording studio.
Okay.
So he kind of took me there, and we recorded some tracks. I was like 11 or 12, and that's kind of when I knew I was like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I was like, this is kind of what I want to do.
Yeah.
Of course, it took some years after that to like really try to pursue it. But I would say when I was like 17, I knew when I moved out of my house, like, okay, this is what I want to do. So I started trying to meet producers, trying to collab with people.
And that's cool. And your parents were all supportive of that, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the beginning.
So like your mom would drive you around to like rehearsals, meeting different producers.
Oh yeah.
Whoever.
So nice.
Okay.
My family, they always encouraged me. They were like, yeah, go try this. I did like some singing competitions, local singing competitions. And
yeah.
They were always like, yeah, do it, you know? So I feel like it does make it easier because I do know some people that they're not as supportive of their talents and stuff, like some friends and stuff. And I find it kind of like is like a roadblock because you want to believe in yourself. And when other people believe in you, you also makes you believe yourself more, right?
Right.
So does make it easier.
Even though they call it like self-confidence, it's still like you need support. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It just makes you feel good. Like even if you didn't have it, I feel like if everybody was like, I don't like it, I would still do it.
Yeah.
Because me myself, I would know
that's what you want.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But that's why I say I'm blessed and fortunate because it could not be that way, right? Yeah. And I know people that don't have it like that. So, but I wouldn't. What I'm saying is, don't give up and don't think because at the same time, just because it feels good, they don't do the work though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The support and the love and everything. It's that extra like cherry on the top, right?
Yeah, it is.
But you got to put in the work. You got to do the thing. You got to have the determination.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And the will to want to make it happen, right?
Yeah. And that goes like with anything. You know what I mean? You want to be a doctor. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a nurse. You want whatever. If you put your mind to it, you're gonna do it. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
I really believe that, and it's crazy because I was like in a accident not too long back.
Oh no.
I know I had to put my music like on hold for a second, but during that time I spent a lot of time writing.
Okay, good. Had some time to think.
Yeah, it was really therapeutic. So sometimes like you don't know where life is gonna take you, but if you stay in focus, you never know like what you're gonna get out of it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
yeah, no, it's good. And so that time when you were just thinking, like, did you come up with bigger and better ideas, or writing songs than you have before?
Oh yeah. I think that pain is a really interesting thing.
Right, it comes through. Yeah,
it
comes
really
through the
does.
pen, like
you can see so many artists; they can relate to that too. It's just it gives you something to talk about, and something real to talk about, and that's what other people want to hear. Because music is emotion, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Whether it's happy, sad, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But even good things come from pain because where do you go from down? Up. Right? Yeah. So then you're gonna start to hear artists' happy music and like you know, you're gonna hear the journey through their music of who they are.
Yeah.
Right? So for me that's kind of what it was, is that I'm not glad that accident happened for me, but I will say that there's like a blessing within a curse, because how would I have had all that time to write and think and to put out something? Because right after that, I was able to put out an EP.
Ooh, okay.
And then from there, I'm like, oh, okay, what can I do? And I started to get better. I couldn't walk for a while, so. But once I started to get better and able to do, I'm like, okay, so everything started to progress. But who knows if you would have not had the time? You know, we all got to work. We all got to do stuff.
You turn lemons into lemonade. That's all.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, made it work for yourself.
Yeah, so I do feel that certain life experiences do help artists with their songwriting, for sure.
Right. No, that's true, because especially today, a lot of people want to hear what's real. I mean, we all watch reality shows. That's all that we see on TV.
Exactly.
We want to be able to relate to love and hip-hop and Atlanta Housewives and The Bachelor, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of like you take your personal experiences and you apply it to your music, and you'll attract that same audience.
Exactly.
Because it's like, oh, shit. I remember that time this guy broke up with me. You know what I mean? And I remember that time I had that one night stand and he wouldn't leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I like to write all kinds of stuff because you're going to have all different things, but your audience is going to relate to that reality of you, right?
Yeah.
So I do think that that's really important.
Yeah. It's kind of like there's no more fiction. Like, maybe say in the early 2000s or 90s, you know, it was okay to make made up stories in your song.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But now it's just like, no, be real. What did you go through?
Exactly.
Who are you?
And sometimes, I will be honest, there are sometimes things that I see or experience that is like through someone. And I may have been there, you know, it might not be right now, but I definitely could take that energy and that idea and concept and then make it your own from what you've experienced in your own life, right?
Exactly, I have friends that go through, you know, things, and I apply that to my music, and I'm like, you know, this is something cool to write about. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then it's like, wow, a lot of girls relate to this. A lot of people relate to this. Like, okay.
Exactly.
So, yeah. No, that's cool. So, I guess, what advice would you give to up-and-coming singers who want to be in the position that you're in? Like, you've already cut records. You've collaborated with people. You've done shows. What about the young girl who just turned 18 and wants to know how to get in the business? What advice would you give her?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. So I would say is to first start with the direction that you want to go. Because I feel like there is a lot of different ways you can take music. Do you want to be an artist that performs and takes that performance and goes places with it? Or do you want to just be like a recording artist? I mean, there's different lanes. So I would just say first kind of think of what direction she might see herself going.
Yeah. Well, tell us what different lanes, because the audience may not know.
Right. Okay, so so there's like, if you want to be a performer that tours, that's a really great way to make money as an artist. And a lot of people like to go to different places, and then that also is good networking, and you're getting yourself out there to different cities. So it's a good way to market yourself. So that's one lane. There's also the recording artist lane, and there's many different avenues. Like, you could record your own album, so find like a producer to work with, and then possibly if you have your own songs, or find like a songwriter to connect with, and then kind of do your own, if you will, independent way. There is that.
Make money off Spotify and Apple Music.
You can do that. Or if you want to get signed, there are a lot of labels and there are a lot of things. So that is a goal that someone could reach towards. And with that, there might be a little less freedom of artistry, only because they're trying to cut a check, right? So
that's true.
gotta make what sells, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's all different avenues. But I would say first find out where, because then you would be that would make it one step easy for you, because then you can see, all right, what steps do I got to do now to make those goals happen for yourself. And then there's so many other ways. I mean, some people want to get their music in placements. They want to get on TV. They want to get in movies, licensing. And so there's so many lanes, but I feel like knowing it would just make it easier, because then you can know who you need to speak with to do that next step. And I feel like music is, you can't do everything on your own. That would be my number one advice, is to just know, like, as dope as you are, no artist does everything on their own. They might think they do, because they might, got to do a lot for themselves. But at some point you have to connect with people, whether it be the producer or the songwriter or the, like, there are different people, and it's kind of like a team. So if you think of yourself as like more of a team player, I feel like you're going to get further, because not only are people going to be more willing to work with you, but also they're going to appreciate your artistry, because you take yourself seriously.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So, like, what category would you put yourself in out of all the ones you've listed? Are you more of a performer, recording artist?
So right now, I would say I'm more of a recording artist, only because ever since I've had my accident, I mean, I can walk now, I can do many things. So the goal for me would be to like take my music and start now performing more places and traveling. And if I could take my music international and go and share it with other people, like, I'd love to do that also. So hopefully, like, with things opening up and life getting a little bit hopefully normal in the future.
Please get normal.
No, but hopefully there will be some cool opportunities ahead like that. So for me, right now I'm a recording artist because I want to keep my music flowing and keep giving joy to people, but in the future I would like to definitely tour.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, for sure. What are you doing right now for your music career, considering we're in a pandemic? What are you doing to like keep your fans happy and to keep growing your career?
Yeah, it is hard because you do have to be engaged, right? And you still gotta be happy and keep it pushing. So what I've planned this whole time. I put out an EP during the beginning of quarantine. I was like, let's do this.
Yes.
And I put out some singles, and I'm working on another EP that I will be releasing soon. So I've just been continuing the music, and I feel like if we're making timeless music, hopefully, we could keep performing it, wherever, whenever, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the main goal. Is I've just been still recording. And still giving them the music.
Yes.
And hopefully now bring it to them.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Through the virtual shows and hopefully through the actual shows.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like, they've closed down a lot of venues, but there's some venues that are open.
Yeah.
As I mentioned this venue, but there's other venues that are open that are like, hey, as long as you don't, max us out at capacity or whatever, you bring in like 40, 50 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's very exciting because it's like, okay, we don't have to just sit at home and be sad about it. We can start bringing our music to you, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I'm excited. And also other states and different places.
Yes.
They are on different restrictions than us here.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
Isn't that interesting?
Because Gavin Newsom is the one who said lockdown. But if you go to like places like Atlanta or whatever, everything's cracking.
I saw people at the club, like somebody was like, I'm like, where are these people? And they're like, Texas, and then Florida. I'm like, we can't leave our house.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel it. It's not a joke, right? But at the same time, it's like, it's interesting how different places have got different situations under control, and then they're able to still have those vibes through the live music and stuff. It looks like they're still continuing. So that's also just like a positive light for us artists to realize, like, all right, we can still do that if we want to,
Sure, yeah, and it'll just, it'll take a little time.
It is.
But we'll eventually get there.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes. So, is there anything else that you would like to tell your fans where they can reach you, perhaps?
Oh, yes. So, I'm on all social medias. So, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff. And YouTube, of course.
Ooh.
Yes, we got a couple music videos there. And
we're
on the way. So, you can definitely check that out. And hopefully, I'll be having a website soon. LiaSabella.com. It will be up and running by the end of the month. So, definitely check that out. And yeah, I look forward. Thank you so much again.
Yes,
for letting me be here. Like, I can't tell you enough. Like, it's been so much fun, and I really look forward to working with you.
Yes, no, I look forward to working with you. Like, you are a genuine, cool person. Like,
thank you.
Isn't she?
How about you?
She's fantastic. Like,
thank you.
How did I not find you? Mace found you. I should have found you.
I was like, what? How do we not know each other? Even through all this, I'm like,
right. No, we know each other now.
Yeah, we do. Yes. And I'm really happy, yes. So thank you for having me.
Cool. All right, you guys. Ladies Night with Keldamuzik. My girl, Lia Sabella. Brought to you by Mace Tableless. You guys have a good night, as usual. Bye-bye.